Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Awesome Finds, the last for 2020, and today I'm featuring all of these records plus these 3 custom Beatle records that you're not going to want to miss, so stay tuned to the very end. Now, first up, I have Frank Zappa's album Sleep Dirt from 1979. Now, I don't know what number record this is because he's had quite a few studio albums in his lifetime, but I was a little shocked to find out that this is purely instrumental. However, in later releases, vocals were added to this record, or at least the songs of this record. And I think a few of these tracks were supposed to be part of his musical that never happened. But anyway, I feel like the music on here is what a lot of modern bands are trying to replicate in that sort of, I don't want to use the term progressive rock, but in that vein where it's you know, maybe there's some minor chords, some dissonance, infusing jazz with rock. And here's Frank Zappa doing it way back in the mid-70s. I do really like this cover art, even though he did not authorize this. I just really like that illustration. Show you the record itself. I have not done a deep clean on this, just kind of a cursory dusting, but even now I just picked up more dust from this inner sleeve here, but you know, all original. There's side 1 and there is side 2. I'd say if you're one of those people who aren't a fan of Frank Zappa's vocals, this is a great album to get into because it's just him. It's just him and his musicians around him, and you really get to just focus in on his musicianship and his compositional skills because it really shines through on this record, and man, I really enjoyed this. All right, so up next I have 3 records from Modern Harmonic, and this first one is called The Ridiculous Trio Plays the Stooges. There is the cover. I love that artwork, by the way, and it does come with this obi strip that goes on this side, which I thought was interesting. But yeah, who is the Ridiculous Trio? Well, just like their name implies, it is tuba, trombone, and drum. And it's, you know, effectively punk music. And I think it's, you know, more taking the original term of punk, of just like doing it yourself and being kind of bizarre out there music. And it is ridiculous. It's also incredibly fun. It's mind-numbing, but it's also hypnotic, and it's just overall a lot of fun, especially if you are a fan of the Stooges. Now I'll show you the vinyl real quick. So that's side 1, and there's side 2. If you're a fan of the Stooges, you're really going to get a kick out of this, and for everyone else, it's definitely worth checking out because it's totally different from most everything that's out there. So up next from Modern Harmonic, I have Folk Songs for the 21st Century by Sheldon Allman. Now, he may not be a household name, but he did write George of the Jungle, the theme song to that, and he also was the singing voice of Mr. Ed, but I think most people will know him from 2 of the songs that come off of here that appear in the game Fallout. And this is just a wonderful blend of safe 1950s rock and roll with jump blues, 50s pop vocals, and jazz with some very witty lyrics all around a space age theme. I'll show you the vinyl. It's on this atomic green, neon green, which if you grew up in the 80s and 90s like I did, this was everywhere for a while. There is side 1 and side 2. If you like music like me, you like stuff like 50s kitsch, you're really gonna enjoy this record. And it's just fun. If you've played Fallout, hear the rest of the songs on here because it's at the very least you'll enjoy it once through. You may never go back to it, but at least just indulge me and check this record out. So last up from Modern Harmonic, I have Lothar and the Hand People with Machines. This is originally recorded in 1969. This is their, as far as we know, their only live, well, this is their last live performance, but it's also the only known live recording of the band. As far as I understand it, could be wrong there, but I thoroughly enjoyed this. This is, think of jug band meets psychedelia with garage rock sensibilities and some great electronic music numbers, and that's provided by the theremin and the Moog synthesizer. Here we go. There's side A. And there is side B, and this is in mono. If you're a fan of 60s music, late 60s, psychedelia, garage rock, electronic music, don't pass this up. Definitely check it out. So these next two records are from Craft Recordings, and they are both Collective Soul. This is the one I'm sure everybody knows. I had this on, well, actually I think I still have the CD, but I had it on CD. This is the first time it's been on vinyl. This is the 25th anniversary edition. Now there was two versions of this, but this is the black vinyl version. The record comes in a picture sleeve, so you have lyrics on one side and then a photo of the band plus credits and all that. Here is side A, and there is side B. I love this album. So many great singles on here. It was really fun to revisit. Just a great post-grunge alternative rock album. This next one is their debut, and this is from 1993. This also comes in a picture sleeve, lots of lyrics. Here's the vinyl itself. There's side A, and there is side B. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed both of these records. So yeah, I highly recommend checking both of these out. Now this next record, I had no idea what it was, but this is Til Willis and Erratic Cowboy with the record Dirt Flowers from 2020. This is folky rock and roll with horn arrangements, has a real Americana feel. His voice is very of the earth, and it's got a real kind of home-cooked meal, twilight, like this, sundown, kind of being in the Midwest on a farm. So here's the record real quick. There is side A and side B. I really enjoyed this record, so thank you, Til, and I think you will too. It's got a real feel-good vibe about it. So up next, I have this massive 3 LP record by RJ Thompson. This is titled Lifeline. And RJ reached out to me because he really wanted to show me this augmented reality record, and I believe it's the first of its kind, and I'll get to that in a minute. But first I want to talk about the music. So this is essentially the album right here, side A, side B, and he's got pop sensibility set within an indie rock kind of framework, and he's got a real great delivery, nice voice, and there's some great 80s saxophone just to kind of meld it all together, which I adore. And overall, it's a great mix of song styles, you know, some upbeat, some slower, that sort of thing. And I really enjoyed his lyrics. Now, this second record, this is piano versions of most of the same songs. There are a couple fewer, and there's a couple of guest vocalists as well. And then this last record 3, side E and F, is a remix album. Overall, it was really cool to see, you know, 3 different sides of RJ Thompson. Now I'll show you the records here. And each of them come in full color sleeves, just like that. So this is the album, and it comes on blue vinyl. Look at that. There's side A and side B. And, oh yeah, I gotta show you the inside of the record here. 3-part gatefold. Show you the next record here. There's the back side, more lyrics. This one comes on red vinyl. There's side C, side D. And here is the last record here. This is the remixes and bonus tracks. Comes on white vinyl. You guys are getting the theme here. And you got E and F. So let's get to that augmented reality I was talking about. So here's, you know, the standard cover with young RJ right there. Now he's got his own app. What we can do is we can scan the record cover, and some magic should happen. Oh, look at that. That's Christmas time. And I can move it around a little bit. You see Santa go by? And it's great. When I first tried out the app, I had a totally different theme, and he will continue to change it along the way. So I thought that was so innovative, and I really wanted to share it with you guys. But beyond that, the music is totally worth checking out. So thank you very much, RJ. So next up, I have Michael Weber's 3rd album called Emotional Investments, and this is my first introduction into business wave, which is its own little subclass of not vaporwave, synthwave. And overall, it's just got a great vibe. it's hard to really explain if you've never heard it. So I encourage you guys to check it out. Here's the record itself. It's actually cut at 45 RPMs. So you have side A, and there is side B. And if you are interested in picking this record up, reach out to Michael, send him a message, because he said he is willing to do a discount for viewers of my channel. So yeah, just shoot him a message, say you saw his album on this episode, and he'll be happy to hook you up with a deal. And beyond that, I just really enjoy this record. So thank you, Michael, for sending it my way, because I just love anything with synths, and you put out a great record. So thank you again. So up next, I have Automatic by Mildlife. This is their, I believe, second album. This is from 2020 on Heavenly Records. Now, full disclosure, their manager did reach out to me and send me this record, but I fell in love with this band, and they are on my top 10 of 2020 of new artists to me, that's for sure. And I was very thankful to get this record, because on digital, this album art is so small that I missed all the detail of this really cool photo collage that's going on here and on the back, which you never get to see either. You never get to see back covers on streaming services, which is a shame. But beyond all that, this is just, it's hard to describe exactly what they are. They definitely have an Australian, if I can say that, an Australian vibe about it. It is just like hypnotic, jazz, funky, cosmic, with some great synths and keyboards, great guitar licks, bass, soft vocals. It's danceable, yet it's very soothing and relaxing. It's got a very homey vibe about it. It feels so good to listen to this record. It just puts me in a great state of mind. In some ways, it kind of reminds me of early Sesame Street. But I think that's just the keyboards that they use. It's just a really good sound overall. I really enjoyed this album. I'll show you the record itself. This came in a picture sleeve. You got more of that collage artwork, and then you get lyrics on that side. Here is side A, and there is side B. There's a lot of really good textures about this album. It's just multi-layered, but it all works, it all gels. It's like having like a 7-layer burrito. All these different flavors are just coming together, and it's just a treat for the ears. Up next, I have Anamanaguchi with Endless Fantasy, originally released in 2013. This is the 2020 polyvinyl pressing repress. This is a record I've wanted for ages, because I missed out on it on the first time out, and then I just didn't want to pay the prices that it was going for. So I was super stoked to see that this was going to be pressed. So I immediately bought the pre-order, and I waited patiently for what seemed like an eternity, but it finally came out, and it was so much fun to listen to this on vinyl. But there is the back cover there. Show you the record itself, the records I should say. Here we go. This is really fun splatter vinyl here. There's side A, side B, and we have side C and side D. So stoked to pick this up. I know there's a couple more there's a couple more reissues put out through Polyvinyl that I haven't gotten yet. So maybe in the new year in 2021, I'll pick up those as well. But for now, I'm pretty happy with this and USA. So up next, I have 3 records, not by the Beatles, but these come from Matt Williamson, and he has the channel here on YouTube called Pop Goes the 60s, and he has a video segment that's called Albums That Never Were, and so these album covers are inspired by that, and this is so very cool. He made a custom Beatles White Album cover of just my songs that I picked for a single record White Album, and he titled it Beatles 68, and on the back there, look at that, so cool, right? And he even did a little write-up there, and then he did one called Beatles 70. So this has got a lot of their solo records put onto one, and again with the Beatles' last album. Love this design on here too. These were such a surprise, and I absolutely love these. I just wish there was records in here, because all these are our covers. They're just jackets, right? Nothing in here. But I'm not, I'm thinking about, now, you know, I'm not trying to condone anything illegal, but when I first got these, my second thought, my first thought was, dang, these are awesome. But my second thought was, maybe we could do some lathe cut records for these. So I haven't done it yet. I don't know if the one guy I know is willing to do it. I won't mention names. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. But that is a route you could go to make your own custom Beatles records, or in the case of these, records that never were. I think that would be awesome. I absolutely adore these. Thank you so much, Matt, for sending me these way. I really appreciate the thought and energy you put into these, and I just think they're some of the coolest Beatles stuff I have. I mean, I can't wait for someone to dig through my collection, pull out this record and be like, wait a minute, I don't remember this Beatles record. Anyway, that'll do it for today. Be sure to check out Matt's channel when you get a chance. Until then, let me know what you think of these releases. Are you interested in picking any of these up? Let me know with a comment down below. Until then, I want to thank you all so much for watching. I'm your Vinyl Geek, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Hey everyone, thanks again for watching this video. Now if you want to see more awesome finds, I put a playlist right there, as well as a video that YouTube will choose for me. And if you are interested in becoming part of my Patreon, there's a link right there as well.